follow the drowning braces. That sucks for me. I was trying to explain to a friend the other day the relationship between someone who is visually impaired, such as myself, and the relationship with them and their glasses. And in the process, I kind of got a little emotional, honestly, because I'm very attached to my glasses. And in order for this the story to make sense and matter, I'm going to try to articulate my relationship with my glasses. I'm going to eat the mic too. So, it's basically evolved from, you know, an instrument that just kind of helps me see to like a vital part of my face. And not just like a useful prosthetic, but like something that, not just a useful prosthetic, but just like almost like a little friend that sits on the bridge of my nose and says things to me throughout the day like, here, let me help you see that. And I'm just, it's so sweet, like we're really attached, we really love each other. I know that sounds crazy, but we really love each other. And then this love affair began, I'd say, it was 14 years ago when I first got glasses, and the moment I put them on, I was riding home in the car with my mom, and I remember looking outside the window and seeing like individual blades of grass for the first time. And just feeling like, wow, that is so amazing. Like, it's not at all like the AstroTurf that I assumed it was, like putt-putt AstroTurf, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was crazy. It was like this magical moment of seeing for the first time. And also street signs, I became less scared of driving because I was like, oh wow, people can actually see street signs approaching so they don't have to make these like panicked, like mid-intersection decisions to turn right or God forbid turn left. So I was like, wow, okay, one day I'll drive, yes. And I was really happy about it. I was very, very much attached. So fast forward 14 years later, this is last summer, 2012, and I was dancing for a company. We were taking some promo shots for the Fringe Festival, and we were in an abandoned parking lot up in Fishtown. And, Fishtown, woo! And so we're taking pictures, and of course my friend is on my face, and my friend is like, oh, look at the sun, it's so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, you're right, it's so nice outside. And then my glasses are like, yeah, it's like that, it's just like that. And then my glasses are like, look at that beautiful, intricate detail of that mosaic wall. And I was like, yes, like that's so awesome, thank you for pointing that out. And, you know, it just feels like that, and we're having a good time. And then the director, who is calling the shots, says to me, can you lose your glasses? And of course I'm immediately offended after like poor choice of words, you know, it's like, okay, I'll take them off, whatever. But the problem was I didn't have a case, and I didn't even have a bag for whatever reason. So I take off my glasses and I put them in my shoe, actually the shoes I'm wearing right now. Come on, in the moment, okay? And so I put them in my shoe and I set them over in the distance, you know, so that they're not going to be harmed. And I even take my sweater off and I create like a little sweater canopy for it to protect it from the sun or aggressive birds or whatever. And so I set it over there, and then I go back and I'm taking the shots and I'm all into it and everyone's into it, but like I'm so distracted and I'm really not feeling it. Like the sun is like no longer beautiful. It's just glaring in my eyes, and this mosaic wall to my right just looks like a handful of like melted Skittles, you know, with jagged edges, and I'm just like over it, right? And just as the photographer says, you know, last frame, simultaneously I hear a revving engine, followed by, yes, a screeching of tires, followed by a delicate crunching noise, as if someone sat on a small bag of potato chips. But there was no small bag of potato chips, right? So I look across the way, and I see this guy in a little sports car, and I see this dude, and of course I snap, and I have a total like geek out moment, right? And I start running towards the guy, like, and of course in my mind, as I reflect on this now, it's like in slow motion. And I'm like running to this guy, and I'm waving my hands, I'm like, no, stop. And ironically, he actually is stopped. He's just sitting there, I'm like, stop, no. And then he panics, right? So he puts his car in reverse and backs over it a second time. Yes, swear to God, that happened. And then I'm like, oh God, you know, like, no, and I'm barefoot too, because it's modern dance, whatever. So we're running, and I'm like, you know, running, I'm like, stack deep, like, you know, do my thing. And the last time I remember feeling so traumatized, and you all are probably right there with me, was Short Circuit 2, when Johnny number 5 gets bludgeoned to death with the crowbar. Yeah, filling me blue shirt. So, yeah, I was traumatized. And so I go walk up to my shoe, and I peel it out of my shoe, and it's just like this mangled, crumbled heap of glasses. And the ironic tragedy of it all is I can't really see the damage. So I'm just like trying to look engaged with my hands, like how fucked up my glasses are. And yeah, so it was terrible. So I immediately go to Modern Eye in Center City, where I got my glasses. Modern Eye, woo! And the guys are real serious. Like they're just like looking and listening, like they're deeply empathetic. You know, like they're just like taken down. Like, did you get his license plate? And I'm like, you know, and I'm like, no, and I'm blind, you know, whatever. And so over the weekend, I'm extremely disoriented. Like, I slept a lot. I feel like that was a personal choice by my eyes to just stay shut. Almost in protest of like, no, we have no support here. We're going to stay shut. Like, I ate a lot of cereal, and when I did so, I had to use my hand to gauge, like, depth perception. I was depressed, okay? So I finally get a phone call, and it's Monday. It's 2 days later. I get this phone call, and the guy's real serious. It's Modern Eye, and the guy's real serious in the other line. He's like, well, things went really well. It was touch and go for a little while, but, you know, I think you're going to be really happy with the results. And of course, in my mind, I'm imagining this, like, hipster surgeon boy with, like, gloves, and he's all exhausted from this procedure and whatever. And so I get a ride to Modern Eye, and I go in. He has a case for me, and he opens it for me, and it's like, oh, they're perfect. They're totally reshaped. They're the glasses I'm wearing right now. Right now, these glasses. Thank you. The glasses. Yes, and it was just amazing. And he even explained to me that he melted them and like handcrafted them with his hands, and they didn't even charge me. Shout out to Modern Eye. Woo, they're awesome, right? And you know, and I just had to. And he explained to me, in the process of melting and reshaping them, it actually made them stronger. And I was like, yes, glasses, like, that's right. And I just had to smile, because I was like, you know, life is so clever to teach me this lesson in this clever way, and in a way that was important to me, and in a language that I understand perfectly, which is like, you know, sometimes you have to lose something or break something to realize the value of it, right? And in the process, we're made stronger. So, but most of all, I was just happy to see that Johnny 5 was still alive. Yeah.